Welcome back to Dragon Ball Super Review, episode number 49. Yes, next week will be the 50th episode of this particular one. Yeah, sorry it took a little while to start this thing. I was looking at something on my laptop here. This adapts check. This we're doing the 120th episode of the anime, Overwhelming Power, the Advent God of the Destroyer top. This episode, there is some stuff basically from last week's episode. With Despa eliminated, the next one eliminated will soon to be. Next on the chop block is Top because Jiren's not eliminated for quite some time. Now, as for the Goku Vegeta versus Jiren fight, this takes up a small portion of the episode because a majority of this episode is Android 18 Frieza versus Top. Let's briefly talk about the Jiren versus Goku and Vegeta. They actually fight for a small period of time. They get flowed like through a rock, and of course Vegeta basically Goku gives him some where to go. He says, "Don't give me orders," and launch attack him does nothing, and that's all you see of it. As for the stuff with Top, well, he's basically battling a lot of the time just Android ATX firing his blast at him, and Frieza comes right behind, just fires his finger beam at him, just blasts him from the back, and eventually the top portion of his uniform is pretty much just shredded. Yeah, and then he just tosses it off, and then something really weird happens. Yes, and the God of Destruction of Universe 11 is smiling at this because he basically, yeah, and the Supreme Kai of Universe 7 points out the power he's wielding is similar, it's pretty much divine power. And of course, they do change this line from the sub of what the God of Destruction says about Top. In the sub, he refers to him as a candidate for the next God of Destruction for Universe 11. Here he says he's been selected to be the next God of Destruction. So be a candidate. It's fine. It's a minor line change because it doesn't have to be exact word for word copy from the sub. But it's a mild change. I don't have a really big problem with it. And eventually, there's a beam that goes up Top's chest and his belly and chest. His eyes turn purple, and he starts holding this little purple ball that God's Destruction use, and he's basically going to use it against Vegeta members basically prior to the tournament. A couple people who work for, I think it was the God Destruction Universe 9, I think it was, who sent a couple people using the power of a god to kill him. And he contained the power in his hands. He says, "Oh yeah, I'll do it with one hand," and eventually just blast him. Eventually it doesn't work, and then Top gets, of course he's doing it while he's going to freeze, and Top gets his hand and basically squeezes the top of his head. He nearly kills the man. And then, well, thanks to activating his God Destruction power, he nearly splits the whole playing field. He pretty much nearly destroys the entire arena when he activates his freaking power. And he gets knocked over and he gets knocked unconscious. And then the episode ends with him continuing his fight with Android 17. This is by far Frieza's last appearance for a few episodes because after this, he disappears about 3 or 4 episodes before he finally makes a return. Yep, not much else to say about this episode, but the biggest thing you can take away from this episode is Top's turning into a God of Destruction. Not the God of Destruction, a God of Destruction, but it's quite interesting, to say the least. And now in the sub, Beerus was actually quite angry at this. And they do make a slight change in the dub where he's not exactly angry at them. He's just surprised. And eventually the God of Destruction Universal basically just spills the beans about it. Yep. This when it comes to this episode, but it's good overall. It's not. This review is not exactly as thorough as the last couple of reviews, but yep. So yeah, not much else to say about this episode, but it's pretty good. I'm definitely looking forward to next week, which will wrap up this particular fight. Yes, the whole thing. I think would take in just a couple episodes. Yeah, I'd say by episode 7, basically when this fight will wrap up. between 18 and Top before Top himself gets taken out of the fight. So yeah, that's it for Specular Review. Stay tuned for our new anime review series. I won't spoil what it is here. I will eventually do Exotolic. But this series, I've been curious about ever since I first heard about it. And I'll get a chance to talk about it soon. Yep. Until you see our next video, which is going to be a surprise exactly what it is. Because I did not expect to start this. I did not expect to do a review of this particular series. I mean, I had heard of it. I've seen people do reviews, seen reviews pop up. I don't know if it's any good or not. I mean, I just read the manga for it, but you'll get my thoughts on it soon, okay? Do you see you next view? Bye.